Hello all, I hope you're doing well today. You may note that this video is coming out a little later than usual, and that's because I just found I had to stop today. I was getting completely lost in all the noise of my mind. If you haven't noticed already, this might be a bit of a different video than normal. One that's not going to catch the algorithm, and that's okay. It's more for the Richard IV loyalists, the loyal army. And it made me think this is so important in the cycle we're in at the moment. There's so much bad news. There's a new tragedy every time you turn on your television or open up your web browser. And even if there wasn't, there's just this endless arguing and noise online. And today I had an experience like I'm sure many of us have had. Woke up early. My son woke up early. So, you're up before the sunrise and all that. Helping him out, sorting him out. Then, I'm answering emails, planning videos, doing a bit of the day job, all the sorts of things that you have to do. And then I realised ever since I woke up, super early in the morning, I've had my head in a screen, for most of the time. And I can feel that fuzziness, that heaviness. And I start working on a video for today. Very controversial one, actually. Maybe I'll release it down the line. But I thought this is heavy going stuff, heavy topic, controversial. Could set alarm bells ringing. And when you're doing such content, you need to tread carefully. You need to be sharp. You need to be aware. You need to speak clearly, because we're in an odd environment at the moment where people are desperate to take what you're saying the wrong way. And it made me think, maybe I need to slow down a bit here and just breathe, because I'm losing myself. I'm losing my stillness. And then came in all of the noise of the mind, the noise of modernity. What about the algorithm? You need to keep up to date with the algorithm, otherwise no one watches your videos. No one watches your videos, no one joins the sister channel, no one joins the Substack, the algorithm forgets about you, and you're all forgotten. This is the way of a YouTube channel, by the way, if you don't know on the inside. If you don't upload for a bit, it just forgets you, and then you have to start from scratch. But part of me was saying, F that. I was about to swear then. Let's just say F that. And, you can't chase the algorithm. It's like some 70s dystopian sci-fi. Chase the algorithm, and then it starts controlling you. And in many ways, I think that's what's happening to many creators. And to be fair, even people who just consume, the algorithm wants your attention all the time. And it's not necessarily going to show you something that's healthy for you. It's going to show you something that makes you addicted, that locks you in. It could be a shocking piece of content or a disgusting piece of content, or what we see very often in the political world, something that makes you outraged. And then you want to see the counter argument. Isn't someone standing up to this? And then you're just locked in, or at least I can get locked in. And it was one of those moments of deeper realization. As many of you know, I tend to read lots of spiritual literature and mystic literature and traditionalist literature. And they all say, beware of this stuff. It doesn't mean to say you can't engage with life. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't want to sound like, holier than thou. That's not the point I'm trying to make. It's important to be up to date with things. It's important to be informed. And of course, it's part of life to face the harsh truths. And on top of that, to deal with modernity. It's unavoidable. But I think the approach we take, and certainly the approach I take, as I was thinking this morning, is something we do have control over. We can be conscious over. And this is what led me to just stop, and think, okay, look, this is getting out of hand a bit. Even if, I lose the algorithm, if I'm behind at work, if I can't get back to some emails immediately, that's all right. That's all right. It's more important that you stay centered. So I went out for a little walk. Lovely time of year, this time of year. They sort of cool autumn air where it's so fresh, but it's not so cold, it's piercing. So went for a little walk in this park around the corner from me, and just sat on a bench and stopped everything. Wonderful, simple spiritual practice I've got from over the years of engaging with this stuff, of just letting go of everything and just being and feeling that energy within, that still energy within. And slowly you just feel a bit of anger, a bit of tension popping up there, a bit of rage, all this stuff inside of me, like little ghouls that have made a home inside of me because I've been unconscious. And not trying to, release them and get beyond them, but just listening to them, letting them be, observing them. Some people have a good imagery of this, of being like the king on the throne who's listening to all the voices that come in to his chamber and not judging, being still, letting them talk themselves out, and right action will follow. And as I was doing this, I obviously you start to come to peace as the the minutes go by and you're breathing in the fresh air and it gets more silent and still. And you think, oh, okay, here we go. I'm finding my anchor again. And it made me realize after, one of the dangers, I think, of being online so much isn't just being locked in the algorithm, but being locked in this constant state of despair. And I think we do see this online now. There's so much bad news. And again, I'm not trying to say never look at bad news. I get we have to be aware. But sometimes I think we can forget that, being is here now, peace is here now. Even if you're a believer, God is here now. And we can connect with that energy, and it can guide us in such a stronger way than the noise of the world and the drama of the world, which is what the ego wants. It wants to be locked in battle, anger all the time. And again, this is why I often say, we have to be wary of the anger. That's not to say you can't act in an integrated anger with venom and strength when the time calls for it. But when it's haphazard and wild, it leads to trouble. It leads to trouble for you. It leads for the trouble that the cause that you're fighting for. And with that, you can easily get tripped up, manipulated, lost. So by all means, it's a case of integrating those strong feelings you feel, but utilizing them with right action. Good phrase I used to hear on the football field when I was a kid. Calm mind, but a roaring heart. By all means, have that roaring heart. Be inspired. Feel the vision within you. Feel that fire, but keep that cool head. The two have got to basically become one. And if you're integrated, I think that's where we're at our most effective. Even if that's in your personal life or your day-to-day job or whatever it is, I think it's such an important structure to build. Almost have that state of relaxed awareness with the ability to move. Fighters are often in that state, actually, before they fight. You get too pent up, you're too easy to take out, Similarly, if you're too laid back, you're going to be too sloppy, but you've got to be in that middle zone. So anyway, the point I'm making with this video is that, for me, it's so important for this approach to lead going forward, because I really do genuinely believe there's something beneath all the chaos and the horrible things that are happening. There's something truly beautiful and magical coming up from the very earth itself, as I've said many times, something to do with spirit, with tradition, something deeper than modernity, which I think grabs us by the heart and really tells us who we are and gives us coordinates that I think just modernity can't. In fact, I really believe that spirit is going to guide us really into whatever tomorrow brings. There will be chaos, there will be challenging times for us all, but it feels if we're aligned with that, we will make our way through. And I thought, well, you know what, this is probably much better to put this down for today. Leave the controversial, tricky videos. Have another shot at that when you're feeling a bit more steady, anchored in being. And of course, you have that dexterity of mind to really get what you want to say across without getting lost in chasing the algorithm. And I've got to put this up online. It's always more important, I think, to be spiritually right. I know it won't appeal to everybody, but I do know, it appeals to those who are really getting my message, because you reach out to me on the emails, on the Substack, which I really appreciate, really lovely conversations I have with many of you. And you're helping me learn as well, of course, about how we can approach this best together. On that note, do join the Substack if you wish. I'm actually planning some really big changes for that in the new year, but more information on that down the line. And of course, a sister channel, Sacred Way, on spiritual and personal transformation as well. And as always, do subscribe to this channel and let me know your views down below. All the best, friends. Do take care of yourselves.